All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We got to talk about natural gas. Now, we are going to do some technical analysis and go over the natural gas chart. We're approaching the 200 SMA, and we rejected a very strong resistance trend line today, but we're still holding the major overall uptrend. We're going to take a look at the RSI here as well. Also breaking out on the RSI, we're going to look to see if we can get a breakout retest. We're going to go over another chart here that's going to go over some different indicators as well. We're going to take a look at some of the money flows and what we really need to see for natural gas to actually have a breakout to the upside. And we're also going to go over a mystery chart today. This is a stock that I don't think a lot of people really know about, and it's got really good exposure to the natural gas sector, and the performance has been a lot better than some other stocks, okay, especially things like Boyle and natural and UNG, for instance. We are going to cover some news as well today. We're going to take a look at the annual US prices, go over the retail and wholesale prices. We're going to take a look at how the U.S. exported more LNG than any other country. And then we're also going to go and take a look at the destinations by country for those U.S. LNG exports. Now, of course, there's also been the strike going on in Australia. We should basically see a conclusion to that sometime in the near future. I don't know exactly when, all right, but I do expect that. We're going to cover some of the headlines around that as well in today's video. As always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. I drop natural gas videos every single week. So if you like natural gas content, this is going to be a great channel for you. I do want to mention that, I do coaching sessions every single week. I have a newsletter. Today, I got a newsletter. I got an email in the inbox. What is going on with Boyle stock? It's been a few days that Boyle stock is moving the same as natural gas futures and not moving twice like usual. Can you explain in one of your videos why this happened? Is it a one-time thing or always like this? We'll kind of go over that. As I mentioned, I have a free newsletter for you guys. It's called Investment Intelligence. It's giving out really good, free, valuable content straight to your inbox. Okay, no spamming. I'm not hitting you guys with a bunch of affiliate links or trying to get you guys to buy into a bunch of different things, right? Just really good content. And I also sprinkle in some free trade ideas, right? This was a trade idea on Tesla from a few weeks ago. And you can see that Tesla trade played out very well. Over 600% on some call options, 170% on some call options if you guys are options traders. Not only do I cover that, but I focus a lot on energy, right? Energy is something I've been bullish on for a very long time. This was a newsletter from a month ago on Exxon Mobil, ticker symbol XOM. You can see that this right here is the chart at this time, and it was at 111 for Exxon Mobil. Today, even with a little bit of a red day, it's at 117 and inching closer to that 119 price target that we had originally right here for Exxon Mobil. Energy has been breaking out. If you take a look at the RSI here, it was still below that trend line. It is breaking out above that trend line today. We'll see if that momentum can continue. But again, two really good examples of some free trades that I'm giving out in that newsletter. There's a link in the description as well as the comment section down below. You can sign up. Also, if you're ever interested in booking a one-on-one session, right? I do personal sessions every single week. There's a 30-minute session or a 1-minute session. You can go to Ko-Fi. It's a platform right here where you guys can directly, basically book those through the Ko-Fi platform. All right, and we'll work on scheduling that. You can also commission if you guys want a specific video, right? You can request viewer requests on here. It's only a couple of dollars, okay? I just do that so people take it seriously and people aren't flooding me with tons of viewer requests and then, they don't even care or they don't even watch the videos. So if you ever want something very specific covered on YouTube, I will gladly make a video for you guys. Now let's get straight into the news. So we see here that natural gas futures extend the rally early as market seizes on supply weakness. That was early today, early this morning. We'll take a look at the chart, and futures are dropping a little bit here, starting to see it give back some of those gains. But signs of production weakness against the backdrop of a much tighter storage trajectory compared to earlier in the refill season helped to spur early gains for natural gas futures Tuesday. And now Chevron Australia LNG keeps up exports despite the outage and the strikes. So that's been a really big topic, is the strikes going on in Australia. We're even seeing strikes in the U.S. now, with the United Auto Workers, the UAW. But meanwhile, Chevron has actually been able to keep up their export, basically throughout all of this. So, that's a nice little sign there, for the company Chevron related to natural gas. Now, residential consumer prices for natural gas have two major components. They have costs incurred to buy wholesale natural gas and the related transportation and distribution charges. Because the fixed costs are spread over the smaller volumes by customers in warm weather, residential natural gas prices are usually highest in the summer and lowest in the winter on a per unit basis when all charges are combined. So that's what we're seeing here in retail price, right? We actually see the forecast is retail prices actually starting to drop, heading into 2024, but we just explained that's why. Meanwhile, the wholesale and the Henry Hub spot price is actually projected to start to tick up heading into 2024 for that winter time frame right there. Okay. And we talked about LNG a little bit and Chevron. The United States exported more LNG than any other country in the first half of 2023. And the US has become a global powerhouse when it comes to liquefied natural gas. And when you take a look at the global LNG exports by exporting country, you can see here that the US is clearly leading the way. All right. Really, really nice stuff to see. If you are a U.S. investor in U.S. natural gas companies and LNG companies, right? Things like Cheniere, etc. Now, U.S. liquefied natural gas exports by destination country. So this is basically where are they going to? And we can see here in 2023, there's been a huge surge into Europe, right? We're sending a lot of LNG into Europe now. Obviously, the Russia-Ukraine situation has a large factor to do with that. But EU countries and the UK remain the main destination for US LNG exports in the first half of 2023, accounting for 67% of the total US exports. 5 countries, the Netherlands, UK, France, Spain, and Germany, imported more than 1/2 of total US LNG exports. So those are our good pals right now, right? We're doing a lot of business with them when it comes to natural gas, LNG, and exporting to their countries. So now that we've covered that, we are going to hop on over to Thinkorswim now, our trading platform, and go ahead and we're going to take a look at 2 charts, right? We're going to take a look at this one, and then we're going to take a look at this one here first, okay? There's a couple different indicators on these charts, and so I just wanted to simplify some things for you guys and not have, every screen jumbled up with, a million indicators, right? So this way it's a little bit clearer for things to see. So the first thing we're going to point out here, you may be noticing this green arrow. Well, why do I have this here? Well, specifically because there was a divergence. So what I mean by that is prices going higher here. And when we look at our MACD indicator right here, this is your moving average convergence divergence. The MACD is what's known as a lagging indicator. And down here, we have the RSI, which is known as a leading indicator. We won't spend too much time on that, but basically the MACD tells you what's happened after it's already happened. And the reason that this green arrow is up here again is because we had that initial divergence where we're making a high here and a higher high here, right? So very clear to see the prices making higher highs. Meanwhile, we have a high here and a lower high here at those same exact points. So this is actually what's known as a bearish divergence. And look at what we're doing. We're actually breaking through that bearish divergence trend line here currently at the moment. We really need to see some follow through here, right? If we can get a true breakout here, that's going to be a very good sign. Same thing on the RSI, right? We're seeing a breakout here. Now we've started pulling back. We're on the daily chart. This is a new daily candle after, the trading day has closed. And of course, this is futures. So it's trading after regular market hours, and we're seeing it's very close to a retest right here, or it is retesting right now. So again, if you're bullish, you want to see a retest, a breakout retest, and push higher. You want to see the MACD continue to trend upwards, right? Volume-wise, volume was pretty high today. So on a bullish day, we saw higher than expected volume, or higher than the average. That's what we want to see, right? We want to see good volume on this to help support the movement, help support the trend higher. Okay. And so now that we've talked about some of our simple indicators here, right, the MACD and the RSI, the next thing we want to do is just point out what kind of structure is the chart telling us, right? Well, we have a clear uptrend that we've tested many times. Okay. We've been able to withhold this uptrend. And, this dates all the way back to April, right? So the futures have been green since April and been going up, right? Going from sub $2 here all the way up to about $3. And ultimately right now, trading around the 270, 275 area is really where we've kind of been stuck at the moment when it comes to natural gas futures. So pretty significant move when you think about, the percentage wise in the futures. But again, things like UNG and Boyle, they suffer from a lot of what's known as decay, contract rollover, futures rollover, lots of different things like that, right? So when someone was asking about, how come Boyle doesn't necessarily always reflect the price, there's many factors into it, right? So there's the volatility decay, and not on top of that, there's something known as contango. These dotted lines right here, okay, these vertical lines, these all represent future contracts rollover. And essentially what happens is every time that the futures contracts roll over, funds like UNG and Boyle, what they do is they have to go out and they have to buy a further dated contract, okay? And so if you take a look at how it works, right, they essentially are selling right here, okay, and then they have to go and buy the next contract out. And what happens is the way futures works is the farther out in time, right, they're more expensive. And then as they come close to expiration here, they're cheaper. Okay. They're more close to the actual spot price of natural gas. And then a contract further out in time is going to have time premium built into it, and it's going to be more expensive. So often case what you see is that funds like Boyle and UNG, what they're doing is they're quite literally selling low and then buying high just based off of the future contracts rollover. So I have an entire video dedicated to that. I'm not going to spend any more or any more time on that subject. You can look up that video. It's very easy to find. It's one of my most popular videos. Just look up ZachlyTrades myths and surrounding Boyle and UNG decay. All right, it's very well put together and really goes into it in high detail. So here's our chart pattern, right? We have this clear uptrend, and here we rejected today. Okay, so we're establishing a little bit of a downtrend, right, with highs here, lower highs. Price action is starting to squeeze, right? So within the next 3 to 4 weeks, if not sooner, but within the next 3 to 4 weeks, I expect to see a break to the upside or a break to the downside. Okay, and this level up right here, $3 and basically 2 cents, that is our previous high. We have not been able to take out that previous high. Okay, we've come very close to it. So if we do get a breakout of our triangle pattern here, okay, we have to be mindful that this is going to be a strong resistance area, right? It's clear that there's been supply up there over here, supply up there over here. And if we break out, it's very possible we could see supply again and head back to the downside, maybe potentially get a breakout retest and push higher breakthrough. If we do get a breakthrough above $3.02, 3.32 is going to be my next target for the natural gas futures. Now, another thing to be mindful, the more we trade sideways, okay, or the more we decline, this 200-day moving average, which is this purple line right here, is going to start to coincide and come down and start to line up with this trend line here. So this is going to be a very, very strong resistance point, right? If we can get above the 200-day moving average, there's literally funds and institutions that only invest in things that are trading above or below a 200-day moving average. So from a psychological and institutional standpoint, getting above that 200-day moving average is going to be a very big deal. Now, the black line here is our 50-day moving average. And so in a short-term basis, you can see, we put in that bottom here in April. And really ever since May, right around here is May, we've been trading above the above the 50-day moving average, right? Each time that we've dipped below it here, and here, we have gone back above the 50-day moving average. And if we were to just simply look at our 200-day and our 50-day moving average, those also are squeezing very tightly. Okay, so not only do we have two very important moving averages squeezing here, we've also got price action squeezing in between a triangle pattern. And we're seeing attempts of a breakout on the RSI and attempts of a breakout on our MACD. Okay. So, those are going to be some very key and important levels. Another important level and thing to pay attention to is $2.77. If you notice here, we have not been able to stay above $2.77, right? We've broken out past it many times, right? We broke out past it here. We broke out past it here. We broke out past it here, and we broke out past it here. And most recently, today, even we broke out past it again. We have not been able to sustain above it. But again, look at how many times we've tested that level, right? So obviously right now it's an area of supply, aka resistance, pushing price lower. But if we've already tested it 5 times, now you have to start to think, well, what are the odds that we're absorbing all of that sell side liquidity? And if we're actually able to get a strong breakthrough with strong volume, is there going to be enough sell side liquidity, aka supply, to keep pushing price down, or can we actually get a breakout to the upside and look for the next overhead supply zone, which again could be around that $3.02 or the $3.32? Now, let's come over here and take a look at some different indicators. This is the same chart, same drawing, basically. And what I want to show you guys right here is the Chaikin money flow. And the reason we're going to look at this is pretty important to see, when money is actually flowing into natural gas. All right, you can see here, right? We get above the zero line, which is this red line here. And that's when we're seeing significant move to the upside in natural gas, right? Same thing over here. We get a nice crossover. We get a nice crossover here. We get a nice little push up. All right. Same thing over here. We get a nice crossover, and we get a nice little push up in price. We're attempting to get back above zero right now, but as you can see, it did reject it. So we really, really, really want to see the money flow get above zero here, go positive, and that's going to help reinforce the theory that natural gas can break out to the upside, right? If we stay below zero and the money flow is continuing to go down, that's going to be a sign that we're going to head lower towards the bottom of that trend, that uptrend that we're in right now. Another one is going to be the rate of change, or ROC indicator, right? And it's kind of similar to the Chaikin money flow, but it has its differences in the way it's calculated, right? So obviously the money flow is looking at money inflows, and the rate of change is basically going over bullish momentum versus bearish momentum. And we were able to get above zero here and get a little bit of a bullish push, right, from 248 up to 280 area. But we really want to see this rate of change start to increase and stay above zero at a rapid pace, right? If you take a look when the rate of change changed over here, right, we basically put in a bull flag right here, right? Let me change the drawing of my pen real quick so you can see we basically put in a bull flag here, and then we got the rate of change going positive here, indicating bullish momentum, and we went from 235 all the way up to 290 right here. Very significant push right there. Okay, so that's some of the things we're looking for, right? We're looking for the rate of change to really show momentum, bullish momentum, that is. We're looking for the Chaikin money flow to really go positive, right? We're looking for money flows to go positive here. And then, our MACD, we're looking for a sustained breakout to the upside. Okay, we're attempting right now, breaking through that initial bearish divergence where we had the highs here, highs here, highs here, lower highs here, and you see that caused a drop in the price. We are attempting a breakout there. We're also attempting a breakout here on the RSI. These are the three main things, really 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different main things that I went over that I'm paying attention to. I know it may seem a lot to digest, but I am trying to break things down as simply as possible. Now, I mentioned a mystery chart for you guys, okay? Right here, FCG, okay? This is my mystery chart, all right? If we zoom out a little bit, go to a weekly time frame, just so you guys can see this stock. I mean, compare this to Boyle, okay? Went from $5.69 all the way up here to $31, and it's really been trading in a range, right? And so one could say that this is a giant bull flag forming right here, right? We're seeing a lot of healthy digestion and absorption of that massive move from $5.69 to $31. We have not experienced a complete collapse and capitulation, right? Again, we're seeing healthy consolidation here. And, it's very possible that if we can get above this small supply zone here, right? We'll go ahead and zoom in on this now so it's a little bit clearer for you guys. If FCG is able to break out above this 2740 to about 2872 overhead supply zone, it's very possible that we come back up and retest this 31, our 3107 highs, right? That's going to be basically the next area that I'm targeting if this stock can break out to the upside. Now, you do need to be a little bit cautious, right? If we start to see natural gas futures, of course, go bearish, then that could affect the price of this stock. But we also need to be cautious because you see we have this trend line here and this trend line here. This is what's known as a prevailing uptrend. And then this is what's known as a bump in the price. And it's very possible that this could be experiencing a bump and run pattern heading to the downside. So, I'm not trading this one currently at the moment, but, doing my natural gas research and such, I did stumble across this stock. And I know a lot of people are very frustrated sometimes with, the performance of Boyle. As I mentioned earlier, someone was emailing me about it. This thing has performed very, very nicely compared to something like Boyle, right? If we were to just come over to our studies and throw in a quick comparison real quick so you guys can see and essentially take a look. All right, we'll go ahead here and we'll change this and we'll change this over here to Boyle. Okay, and we'll apply this to our screen so you guys can see. This thing has held its own very nicely, right? And when Boyle started to go down, this thing continued to go up. And when Boyle experienced a significant drop here, right, this chart meanwhile has pretty much just gone completely sideways. Okay, so just wanted to put this one on the radar for you guys. Of course, as always, do your own research, look at the holdings in the stock, look at this stock, what it is about, see if this is something that maybe you guys are interested in investing in. Remember, UNG and Boyle are not the only, as well as KOLD, those are not the only way to trade natural gas. Okay. There's also natural gas companies, okay, natural gas stocks that buy and sell natural gas or that export liquefied natural gas, that report profits, that report revenues, right? That report earnings that you can look at and see if it's a good company growing its business, different things like that, versus simply commodity-based ETFs that oftentimes suffer a lot from contango and volatility decay. Now, that's it for today's video. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, sign up for that free newsletter, okay? If you guys want free trade ideas and you enjoy free valuable content, you're absolutely going to love the newsletter. There's a link in the description as well as the comment section down below. All right. And you can also book a one-on-one session with me anytime. I do those every single week. There's 30-minute sessions or 1-hour sessions, and we can work on getting, those scheduled for a time that work for the both of us. You can do that via the Ko-Fi platform. Also a link in the description and comment section down below. You can head on over to the commissions page, and from there you can request a 30-minute or 1-hour session, as well as request a specific YouTube video covering a specific topic or a specific stock that y'all would like me to cover.